And good morning, I'm Carol Costello. Thank you so much for joining me. Topping the news this hour, a question. Is Bradley Manning a heroic whistleblower or a traitor? Or more to the point today, was Manning, a U.S. soldier, a victim of torture at Virginia's Quantico Marine Base? As early as today, Manning will testify about that at Fort Meade. As you know, Manning is accused of leaking hundreds of thousands of war logs and diplomatic cables to WikiLeaks. But he'll likely detail how he was treated while confined at Quantico. Manning claims that for 9 months he was held in his cell for 23 hours a day, checked every 5 minutes, and often stripped naked. If this is proved to be true, Manning could actually go free. Joining me now to explain all of this is Greg Rinckey. He's a military lawyer. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning.
So if you are representing Manning, and you're not, but if you were, why start with an accusation of torture at the hands of his U.S. captors?
Well, it could very likely be a get-out-of-jail-free card under Article 13 of the UCMJ. If torture's alleged and proven, the military judge does have the capability to dismiss all the charges. I don't think it's likely in this case, but it is a possibility. Why do you think
it's not likely? Because Manning, you know, he says he was confined to solitary confinement for 23 hours. Psychiatrists and psychologists will testify at this hearing that there was no evidence that Manning would commit suicide, so why keep him in solitary confinement? Isn't that enough?
Well, I think there's a debate as to whether or not it was necessary to keep him into solitary confinement 23 hours a day. In my opinion, I believe he will get some Article 13 credit, pretrial confinement credit, which means that will come off of his sentence. I don't believe that the military judge will outright dismiss the charges. I don't believe his treatment rises to the level of torture.
Is that normal is that normal at Quantico to keep someone in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day? What's normal in this case?
No, it is not normal to keep a soldier who's charged in pretrial confinement for 23 hours a day. However, the charges in this case were very serious, espionage, and I think they also did have some feeling that he may have been suicidal, so they were concerned about his safety. However, I think keeping him in confinement, solitary confinement, for 23 hours a day, I think, is going to give the military judge some pause, and I do think the military judge will give him some Article 13 illegal pretrial confinement credit off of his sentence eventually when he is sentenced.
Manning has been held for years now. I mean, for a long time, he was held without charges being filed. Is that normal in a case like this, and will that enter into the hearing at Fort Meade today?
It could enter into the hearing today, the fact that he was held for such a long period of time. However, these charges were very severe. There was also some defense delay in this case as well, which is not attributable to the government. So both sides are going to argue whether or not the delay was a very long delay, was a delay that he should get credit for. There's no doubt, in my opinion, that he will get some pretrial credit. I don't believe that he's going to be let go free and the charges dismissed.
Greg Rinckey, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.